Okay, so we've got 2 games on the schedule tomorrow. This one starts at noon hour my time, 3 o'clock Eastern for those of you on the East Coast. Relatively early in the evening for those of you in Europe, depending on which part of Europe you're in. And then there's the Vegas game, and of course, in between, we have the draft lottery. So I'm going to go over this because I have seen the information now on Sportsnet about what's going to happen. So stay tuned for draft lottery information as I have it. Boston's in Tampa tomorrow night. This is the start of the series. Tomorrow afternoon. Tampa's 5 for 19 on the power play, 16 for 19 on the penalty kill. Boston 7 for 22 on the power play, 11 for 15 on the penalty kill. Boston's going to want to fix that penalty kill. Tampa, special teams, I'd put them a little bit ahead of Boston. You look at the regular season meetings. Boston beat Tampa, Boston beat Tampa, Boston beat Tampa, and then Tampa beat Boston. So Boston's 3-1. Series is over, everybody. No. In 7 games. Pasternak, 5 goals and 8 assists. Krug, 2 goals and 7 assists. Marchand, 3 goals and 6 assists. And a lick to the face. Bergeron, a goal and 7 assists. Krejci, 2 goals and 6 assists. DeBrusk, coming out party for him, 5 goals and 2 assists. Miller, a goal and 3 assists. Corrali, 2 goals and 2 assists. Chara, a goal and 2 assists. And Backus with 2 goals and an assist. Decent scoring, but there's some guys waiting to break through. Backus, I would almost qualify as waiting to break through, too. I would think another point or 2 from him would have been nice in that series. Shots on goal, Pasternak leads the way with 27. Krug's next with 26. And Rick Nash with 24. And I don't care what Rangers fans say or Columbus fans say. I still think Rick Nash is eventually going to break through scoring-wise in this series. Hits. Miller, 30. Achari, 24. DeBrusk, 22. Ice time. Chara leads the way, 23-27 on average, followed by McAvoy at 23-09. Krug, 21-04. In net, Tuukka Rask, 2.94 goals against, 899 save percentage. He saved 169 of 188 shots. That's not good enough. Being completely honest, I don't think Rask had a fantastic first round. If he plays that way against Tampa, this series is going to be over fast. Because Tampa has offense. Kucherov, 5 goals and 5 assists. Stamkos with a goal and 5 assists. Killorn, 4 goals and an assist. McDonough, 4 assists. Miller and Palat both had a goal and 3 assists. Point with a goal and 2 assists. Johnson with 2 goals and an assist. Gourde and Sergachev both had a goal and an assist in 5-game series. Shots on goal, Kucherov led the way with 24. Johnson, 14. Gourde, 13. Hits, Callahan, Killorn, and Palat all with 12. Ice time, Hedman, 26-24 on average. Then Stroman at 22.53. McDonough at 22.52. Vasilevsky, 2.01 goals against, 941 save percentage. He faced 169 shots in 5 games, which is almost as many as Rask did over 7. And he saved 159 of them. So if it comes down to goaltending, Tampa has the edge there. Boston's trying to get the steal. If Boston can win this game tomorrow, then they steal one in Tampa. And you look at the series so far, the only one that didn't steal a game yet is this one right here, San Jose. Winnipeg stole the first game. Pittsburgh stole the first game. We'll see where it goes from there. But this is a huge game for Boston, who will be more tired than Tampa. Really, this is going to come down to, can Boston stop Kucherov? Kucherov, the 24 shots, 10 more than the next highest for his teammates. 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points. 4 points ahead of Stamkos there. 5 ahead of Killorn. Killorn's the only other person who had more than 2 goals in that series against New Jersey. Tampa did have their way with the Devils, kind of, sorta, and yet, I don't know. I can't handicap this game tomorrow and say, oh yeah, clearly Tampa's going to win, but it does kind of look that way to me. Tampa has home ice. Somebody has to make home ice matter in this first round. I would think, right? And I would not be surprised to see it be Tampa. This though also feels like a game that could end up being close. Maybe it goes to overtime, that kind of thing. But it's going to depend on this guy here. Tuukka has to be better. They're not going to go to Hudobin. It's going to be you live and die with McAvoy or with Rask, and that could be an issue for Boston. And then in between the 2 games, the draft lottery will start. So at 4:30, okay, 4:30 Eastern time, or 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern time, They will reveal draft picks 15 through 4. At 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, this game starts. After the second period, they will reveal picks 3 through 1. So that gives you 2 hours to mull over in your brain what's going to happen. Again, I just think it's... I don't know, it's just weird. To shoehorn the draft lottery in here is again, and I talked about this yesterday, it's just weird. I don't understand why it's not its own thing. Do it right before the playoffs or in between rounds, or, just give it its own time. Like, I'm watching the NFL draft hype today on I think it was on TSN. It doesn't matter. I don't really pay attention to the NFL draft anyways, to be honest. But, man, they really hype it up. And it's this big deal. NFL draft is this really big deal. The NHL can absolutely do the same thing with the draft lottery heading into the draft. And instead it's just kind of this low-key before a game and then in between periods thing. And I can't imagine the NFL doing that. Taking a draft, if they did a draft lottery and just shoehorning it at the start of a game and then in between the first and second half, I just can't see it. But anyways, let's get into the second half of tomorrow's games, which is Vegas at home against San Jose. Vegas destroyed San Jose in Game 1. Scoring stats didn't change for San Jose. Couture still got 3 goals and 2 assists. Pavelski's got a goal and 4 assists. Sorensen, Kane, and Hurdle 3 goals and an assist. I didn't hear anything about anything with Kane today, so I'm assuming Kane gets off without any kind of supplemental discipline after the 5 minutes in a game that he got in Game 1. Meyer and Donskoy with a goal and 2 assists each. Karlsson with 3 assists. That's Melker Karlsson, not to be mixed up with William Karlsson on this side. Vlasic, 2 assists. He's tied with Bodker and LeBanc. And Dillon there, and Brent Burns with a goal and an assist. Burns, to me, looked completely overwhelmed yesterday by Vegas. He has to overcome that for tomorrow, or this series could be over very, very quickly. Shots on goal, Kane leads the way with 24. That's why they can't afford to lose him to a suspension, and they haven't. Hurdle, 17, and Burns was 16. Hurdle was one as well that seemed to be frustrated last game. But San Jose, it's going to be wall-to-wall frustration after Game 1, and now it's a matter of trying to turn it around and steal Game 2. Hits, Meyer with 17, Dillon with 14, Karlsson with 13. Ice time, Vlasic 23.55 overall, Burns 23.50, and Braun 21.33. So 3 defensemen, top 3. Martin Jones had a 1.0 goals against and a 970 going into Game 1. Going into Game 2, his goals against is now 2.05. Save percentage 938. He saved 136 of 145 shots, but those stats took a beating in Game 1. He has to be better in Game 2. The whole team has to be better in Game 2 and resist the following. Leading the way for Vegas. 5 wins in a row for Vegas, have I mentioned that? Smith, 6 assists. Karlsson and Marchessault with a goal and 4 assists each. Tuck and Neal both with 2 goals and 2 assists. Tuck and Neal may be what San Jose fans are doing by the end of this game if Vegas plays the same way again. Perron, 3 assists. Theodore and Howla with 2 goals and an assist each. Eakin with 2 goals, and McNabb with a goal and an assist. Shots on goal, Neal with 20, Marchessault with 20, Theodore with 14. Hits, Carrier. William Carrier, he's hitting everything that moves. 33 hits. He is way ahead of everybody except Miller's got 30. And yeah, it's not even close of any team that's playing tomorrow. McNabb 22, Neal and Eakin with 20 each. So Neal, 2 goals and 2 assists, 20 shots on goal, 20 hits. James Neal, when this guy's on, he's pretty deadly. Ice time, Schmidt leads the way with 26 minutes and 11 seconds on average. England, 24 minutes and 3 seconds, followed by McNabb at 22.52. And then because he's only 4 seconds back, I included William Karlsson at 22.48. Marc-Andre Fleury, 0.54 goals against average, 982 save percentage, 160 shots saved out of 163. If San Jose is going to do anything tomorrow, they have to break through Fleury. And really, they need to do it early. You need to do it early. And you need to get in his head and make Vegas doubt themselves. And if you can, you're ahead of every other team in the league this year. Vegas kind of cruised to the division. At no point during this season was there any panic in Vegas's game or any of Vegas's results. And even though Vegas doesn't have a first-round draft pick, would any of us be surprised if somehow Vegas won the draft lottery? Somehow, some way, there's a combination of how did Vegas win this? Vegas reasons. Vegas is number one. Kabam. Everybody gets ninjaed. Vegas somehow wins the draft lottery during the game. All kidding aside, this is a really impressive team. They showed it against the Kings. There were some who kind of brushed them off and said, oh, it's one round and LA's old and they're broken. San Jose will break through and we'll see that Vegas isn't that good. No, Game 1 didn't show us that. Vegas is in territory that no first-year team's ever been in. And I pointed that out last night when I compared them to the St. Louis Blues in their first year. St. Louis Blues beat other expansion teams. This is a team beating established teams, and I would be very surprised if they don't go up 2-0 tomorrow night against San Jose. If Vegas wins their 6th game in a row in the playoffs, there will be a lot of angry people because Vegas hasn't tasted a loss yet in the playoffs. And that kind of resentment that has been building all year, the idea that you guys haven't experienced any adversity in Vegas yet, even when all your goaltenders were hurt and you were down to number 5, somehow you still managed to stay at 500 for those games and you still managed to stay first place in the division, makes people angry. Longtime hockey fans feel like they haven't paid the price and they haven't paid their dues. But you know what? $500 million should be able to buy you a pretty good team. Just like $650 million, the asking price for Seattle to get a team, I think they're going to get a pretty good team too. $650 million. Considering 20 years ago, that entrance fee was $50 million. That's kind of why this has happened, and it'll happen again. Not to this extent. I think this is just the perfect confluence of everything and some stupid GM moves on top of everything. This is impressive, though, and this could very well continue tomorrow night. Let me know your picks. Who do you think is going to win these games? Who have you got? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And 2 teams are going to continue in their quest for a Stanley Cup tomorrow, and 2 are going to come out with some doubts. Either Vegas if they lose home ice, San Jose if they've lost both on the road, Tampa if they lose home ice, and Boston if Tuukka Rask, if his numbers stay down and Tampa wins that game, some doubt will creep into their minds. But hey, let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you again soon.